Magala en route to potentially a European semifinal championship. Annie Thorisdottir, the two-time CrossFit Games champ, is in second. Number one women on the planet is Laura Horvath. She is in fifth. First test of the day, Mads, in and out.
In and out, overhead squats onto the rower, some handstand pirouettes before we try our gymnastics against the wall and on the rope. Then we need to make our way back, all within 16 minutes.
And that recipe for success brought to us by RP looks like what?
Well, pace the first row. Do not go too hard and heavy because that's going to set you up for trouble on the handstand walk. And know your capacity on the handstand push-ups. We've seen it before. Going too hard, too fast will get you in trouble for the following rope climbs.
We've talked about some of the veterans. Jennifer Muir, though, in lane 1, could be a rookie at the games if she qualifies. Ella Wunger in lane 10, staring down a similar path as we go down to Lauren Smith.
Thanks, Joel. Yep, legless rope climbs have always been a little bit of an Achilles heel in Gabriela Magawa's armory, and she's got a stunning resume, hasn't she? But she set herself up so well for this test. She's 22 points clear at the top of the overall standings, and we spoke to her coach and partner, Christoph Horvath, and he said that this is going to be the true indicator, not just of her mental fortitude, but of all the work she's been putting in the off-season.
Lauren, thank you. Laura Horvath is also Gabby Magala's sometimes training partner. The two of them are phenomenal friends. Of course, her brother is Christoph, Gabby's partner and coach. They were thrilled for each other with their performances at the end of yesterday on tests 4 and 5. They would love nothing more than to stand on that podium here at the semifinals together.
There's a good chance they will. I mean, Laura said yesterday, I kind of fly under the radar. It's like, do you know who you are? Everybody knows that you're the rock star.
But she still does kind of fly under the radar in some ways.
Well, I mean, she does, but that, I don't know. It's I guess, it's a question of degrees. I don't think if you ask anybody out here who Laura Horvath is that they wouldn't be able to tell you right off the bat.
She is a likely favorite to win the 2023 Noble CrossFit Games. But she always kind of is the other name. Even you go back to the last time she finished second. Tia-Clair Toomey won the games in 2021, and then everybody else talked about who finished third that year because it was Annie Thorisdottir coming back from pregnancy. Laura Horvath finishing second was just like, oh, the other person on the podium.
Oh,
she's trying to stake her claim.
That other super fit person who always does well. Yep, that's who she is.
Horvath is with a host of others to the rower here at the same time. Maximize your CrossFit performance with GoWOD's tailor-made mobility program. You can try it now with a 14-day free trial from GoWOD. We've seen about 2-minute row times in the earlier heats.
Well, I mean, they're definitely, there's no need to be on a hurry here. Around the 2:10, 2:15 mark, it's going to be fine. Karen Freyova, can we please talk about her? She snatched 2:10 yesterday. She always goes out and just puts on a great effort. She's really well calculated in every risk she takes. I'm excited to see how she does, both on the handstand pirouettes, but especially when we get to the wall and to the rope. She's just an amazing athlete, and it's again, we've got a star-studded field out there. We don't want to forget anybody, and I think sleeping on where she's at is not going to serve you well. She's an amazing athlete.
I spoke to Matilda Oyens-Garnez just last night, and she told me that she tested this event at home with the same transitions and hit an 11:48 finish. She knows that the handstand push-up element is a bit of a weakness, and she accommodates for that as best she can, but she's super pleased about how the competition's been going so far, and especially how she's come back after a couple of mistakes on day one. She's sitting 6th overall, and she's feeling really good.
Lauren, thank you. 11:48 as a test would be good enough for second if she were to repeat it in the event, chasing behind Elisa Fuliano at 11:41. And for Garnis, remember, she told us she thought she might have overtrained coming into this. There was a time about 2 months ago where she said, I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to compete. She might qualify.
Well, ask any coach out there, and they're going to tell you that around 2 months ahead of the competition, most athletes should be feeling that way.
3 minutes as we get off the rowers.
So Freyova hasn't always been super comfortable with the handstand walk, so she needs to be very deliberate with it.
And look how wide, Mads, her legs get, particularly on the pirouette as she fights for balance.
I think for her, the most important part is being able to do this unbroken to start with, build some confidence for the way back. And there she is, finishing at the same time as Annie Thorisdottir.
This heat should attack these rope climbs with about as much confidence as anybody. And if you're Annie Thorisdottir, she was at the games last year, albeit on a team. This standard of rope climb was supposed to be at the CrossFit Games last year in the alpaca event. Remember, because of rain and the slickness of the ropes, they took the rope climb out. But if you're doing your homework, these athletes should have been aware that this is something that could show up.
And some of the ones we've spoken to have been aware. Others were like, really, that's what that was.
Freyova, Laura Horvath, all would have been in that briefing when this was talked about last year. And unsurprisingly, Laura Horvath says, what rope?
Well, I used to hear a lot about Laura Horvath and how she used to be a rock climber. She's got amazing grip and everything like that. But this is just Laura Horvath coming into her own.
The one hiccup in her game has always been deficit handstand push-ups. These are regular wall-facing handstand push-ups, and they look just fine. Look at this rope climb again.
And it's surgical. She's using her legs really, really well. She's using her legs really, really well to gain upward momentum at the same time as she is very fast with her hands. Laura Horvath knows exactly what she's doing.
She is headed right back onto the rope. Oh no, I think she was chalking up. She still has a little bit more left on the handstand push-ups.
Veteran move there from Annie. Hey, there's chalk on the floor. I'm just going to grab that.
There's never chalk on a floor at a CrossFit affiliate.
No. Well, there has to be. Otherwise, it's called a spa.
5 more reps here for Horvath on the left side of your screen. Same for Thorisdottir.
Oh, Migawa really playing with fire. Horvath here playing with fire on the handstand push-ups. Just getting a little bit of, looked like a kip, but well within range. The judge was right there looking at it.
You've got Thorisdottir on the right in that split. You've got now Horvath center of screen.
And look at that. So just fast hands, great kick with her legs, propelling her upwards. So it gives her 100th of a second where she can move her hand without having to death clinch the rope with the other. Same thing with this lady right here. Annie Thorisdottir has been around for so long. Works out and gets, well, her training with Yami Tikkanen in the training plan. And I know that they've been working on this.
Annie Thorisdottir on the right, Laura Horvath on the left. Not only the two favorites maybe coming into this semifinal, but Mads, you're looking at maybe two favorites, or the two favorites, to win the 2023 Noble CrossFit Games. Horvath is the #1 ranked woman in the world. Thorisdottir, it's been a decade since she last won the games, but maybe in her best position since then to ever come away with a title again.
She just looks incredibly strong, and we talked about it on day one. She's been training with more quality, less quantity, and I think where she's at in her life right now, that is exactly what she needs.
Thorisdottir touching atop the red, now on that descent of her final rope climb as Horvath has run into some trouble on the handstand walks.
Welcome to the floor, Annie Thorisdottir.
They're both handstand walking. It is just the two of them. They each have their own whys. Horvath has said, I've been second. Second's not good enough. For Thorisdottir, she is at a more advanced stage of her life now. She's a mother. Her daughter, Freya, that is her why. Her why is for her family. Motivations are different, but they put you in the same place. And look at Thorisdottir coming up from behind as Horvath finishes on the handstand walks.
We have a race. And Horvath knows it because she's tearing that rower to pieces right now.
This is the generational picture of the CrossFit Games, Horvath and Thorisdottir.
And behind these two ladies on the floor, we've got Emma Tall. Emma Tall went through her gymnastics on the wall and on the rope really, really well, but kind of flew under the radar just a little bit because she was there a little bit after these two. But she's doing great. only now are we starting to see other athletes make it onto the floor.
Time to beat is Elisa Fuliano's 11:41. Tall stammering through, does complete the handstand pirouettes.
And just in case we were wondering a second ago about Gabriela Magawa and how she was doing on the rope climbs, she got all of them clean. Join the family on the rowers.
And as Magala just to the side of Annie Thorisdottir's box. Thorisdottir on the right, Laura Horvath on the left. Final couple of meters for both of those women, who again finished on the podium in 2021. Horvath second, Thorisdottir third. Tia Toomey the winner that year.
And Tia's out this year, right? Because now she's a mother. Something about mom strength.
Tia just gave birth not that long ago, opening the door for the return of Thorisdottir or the emergence of Horvath as the fittest woman on earth. And I think Laura Horvath is not only going to smash the time to beat, she's got the potential to be the fourth woman worldwide to finish this test in under 11 minutes.
She is so strong. It's just every position she's got. So Annie T is 10 reps behind Laura Horvath right now.
The best time in any semifinal belongs to Danielle Brandon, 10 minutes and 39 seconds. Horvath is there. That's a no rep though. She's got to hustle. You could look at a new test record across the semis here for Laura Horvath. And if there's anybody that's not at this semifinal who is a threat to Laura Horvath or Annie Thorisdottir, it is Danielle Brandon.
This is going to be right on the buzzer.
Go. Barbell down. Steps on the mat. That's the best time in the world. Laura Horvath.
There was no urgency, however, getting across the line for her. I don't think she cared about that record.
And she missed it by a half second.
Oh.
As, you know,
had she jumped and wanted it?
She had completed the work, but it was the slow stroll to the mat.
What's up? Let me sign some autographs. I did just did really, really well.
It's all right. She wins the test here, and that's all that matters. It's 100 points for Laura Horvath. Oh, here's Annie Thorisdottir. She beats Fuliano's time. That is 97 points for Thorisdottir. And that's big in terms of the race here because she was only behind Gabby Magala by a strikeable margin. 22 points is the difference. Magala is back there in the green bottoms.
And Emma Tull just with a little bit of a lead. Emma Tull is doing everything right to stay in contention.
Tull in the blue is fourth overall. .11:41 has passed. 12:19 is the next benchmark. That's Helgadottir.
Oh!
Magala gets in, Tull behind her. Both of those beat Turi Helgadottir. And that is now your top 5 for scores in the test. Ella Vunger, bottom of your screen, black top, trying to become a rookie at the CrossFit Games.
And she's doing really, really well. I mean, she's keeping all the right people behind her, so let's see if she can hold on to this.
This is Manon Anganiz, who was bidding for her first appearance at the CrossFit Games as well. And she finishes in 12:56, the winner of the Rogue Q in the offseason.
So it looks like Elavunga, last repetition right there. And this is huge for her. She's looking to climb just a little bit and make sure that she's out of trouble.
We had 3 people in this heat looking to make a rookie bid at the CrossFit Games. Karen Freyova is not one of them. She is a wily veteran, but she does struggle with those handstand walks, so good on her to get through it to this point.
She did amazing on the way out. I mean, it was a little bit of a struggle on the way back, but she did amazing on the way out, and it's pretty obvious that somebody's been working on it.
The rookies were Enganese and Vunger, both of whom have finished. And then also Jennifer Muir trying to punch those tickets. Freyova is hit with a no rep and has to reset with 2 minutes still left to work.
Opening the door to Matilda Garns. Matilda Örjen Garnes running to the finish right now. She's got to be happy with that.
Jennifer Muir is not in your picture. She is still at the rig, stuck on the rope climbs. Oh, now she's on the handstand push-ups.
Yep.
I thought she was back on the second round of rope climbs. She's still got a load of work to do as Freyova finishes. Muir came in 38 points safe. And that is the best news for everybody's spots 12, 13, 14, 15. Now the good news if you're Muir, as Emma McQuaid finishes, with a minute left to go in the cap, is that Sarah Sigmundsdottir, who was the first person out, also got stuck back at the ring.
This is throwing the leaderboard around for sure.
Sigmundsdottir was the one looking to make a move. Linda Caseman and Madeline Persson were the other 2. Caseman was 20 points out of a qualifying spot. Persson was 11.
And Jen is just doing a great job right now, sticking in the game. I mean, she's really trying. She's got another 20 seconds to go. And every rep is going to count because we have a lot of people here who didn't finish. Obviously, this is also going to open up the door to some of the people that she was competing with.
3, 2, 1, and the clock expires.
Laura Horvath has got to be happy with what she just did. And if I ever get to talk to Laura again, sprint to the finish, please. I mean, this is a really, really interesting heat. And we knew we had a lot of very capable athletes. Laura Horvath, one of them right there. Look at her, just fast, coming down, showing control off of the rope. And as soon as she got down, went straight to business, back to business on the wall. We were wondering, what's it going to be like on the wall for her? Well, no problem whatsoever on the handstand walks. Then handstand walks on the way back. Bit of a race there with Annie Thorisdottir, but Laura Horvath made it onto the rower, just a little bit ahead of Annie. And after that, catching Laura on a rower, that's going to be hard for you. We had both Laura Migawa and Annie on the rower at the same time. Laura finished it faster, though. Got on the barbell. This barbell is never going to be a trouble for her. And here she is finishing really close to the world's fastest time. Another interesting part, though, is Emma Tall and Gabi Migawa right here, slugging it out. And Migawa comes in a little bit ahead of Tall. We're going to see what that does to the leaderboard.
Those are the overall results for Test 6, with Laura Horvath picking up the win in like 40 seconds of difference. Let's go down to Lauren Smith.